Well, happy Wednesday Weigh Day. Wednesday's a good day to weigh in if you're brand new. Not, it depends on your lifestyle, but most people will fluctuate pretty drastically over the weekend. That's when people do take what we call a holiday, and you'll hold on to some of that glucose, and that's carbohydrate for new folks. And the carbohydrate, it will grab hold of water molecules. So you'll pull in, after you eat carbohydrate, you'll pull in a little water weight, the weight of glucose. But usually if you have that rhythm that most of us have, not everybody, it's different. I know there's people that work third shift. There's people that on the weekend, they're really strict. But it takes, for most of us, Monday and Tuesday to clear out what the damage done on the weekend. So Wednesday is a good weigh day if you're using the bathroom scales as your kind of your tool, your way of deciding if you're doing good or not. Now, y'all know that we don't like that. We want you to use the weekly timing chart. That's in the website. After 2 perfect days, you get in efficient fat burning mode, and then you can lock it down and rip off the knob. And just, you go as fast as you want to go with this program, as long as your expectations are right. You don't want to set up yourself for expectations that are without reason. So when you're starting the program, you're looking at a good number's 10%. That's very aggressive. So 10% in that if you start at 300 pounds that first month with strict adherence, you could lose up to 30. But after that, it's about 4% a month. And then when you get really close to go, the latest statistics show about 2%. But that's because you're really close to go and you're not as much of a calorie deficit anymore. So it's just live the lifestyle. It's a practical, sustainable, fun lifestyle. If we would work on not getting fixated with that conversation that we have with the bathroom scales, because it's a liar, the truth isn't in it, then we would stick with this program because it's fun, it's easy. If you eat 3 times a day, you don't have to eat that many times a day. That's a good number. If you eat approved eating episodes, you're controlling insulin, you're ending your day in a calorie deficit, and then it's just a matter of time. You're not really even eating anything that you weren't eating before starting this program. You're just changing out some of the brands. You're changing out some of the products. Instead of a Lay's potato chip, we're going to eat a Quest chip. Instead of eating Sunbeam loaf bread, we're going to eat Healthy Life bread. And the reason we're doing that is what we're learning this week as you're going through the FasTrack videos. Do make sure you go through FasTrack, take the test, pass the test, earn your FasTrack badge. Super important. The things that I'm doing here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. are to fill in any gaps you have, to give you the support you need to answer any questions. These are about half-an-hour sessions, and then we go into the journey. We won't leave this meeting today because it's Wednesday. We actually don't have anything on the schedule on Wednesday at 10:30, but I do them anyway because we want to make sure that we're supporting our members that might need some help or need some questions answered or whatnot. So we're going to get started. So Monday, we discussed the why. You've got to have a really strong why. This can really relate to every area of your life, in that if you're struggling with something you do and you don't want to do, but you got to do it, you better figure out a way to talk yourself into it. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care what it is. Because if we yield to our the vices of our flesh, things aren't going to get any better. It's real easy just to throw your hands up in there and say, I don't feel like doing anything. But when we do that, nothing's going to get better. It's just going to get worse. So if we don't like where we're at now with our health, throwing our hands up in the air is not the right thing to do. You just have to grind it out till you figure out how to mentally talk yourself into this and how to enjoy it. You need to enjoy your eating lifestyle. Diets don't work because people don't enjoy them. First three letters of the word diet spelled die. This is not a diet. It's a lifestyle. What is it that you can't have? Well, I've discovered a lot of things I can't have, Travis. Then you need to talk to one of us, because there's nothing you can't have on this program. Reasonable people should be able to find this enjoyable. You didn't have to give up protein. You didn't have to give up carbs. You didn't have to give up fat. You don't have to give up your sweets. You don't have to give up your salties. It's just how you're managing it. We want to make sure that we're managing our food intake properly so that we can lose the body fat and then get back to where we really know that we should be, how we really are. You know, we look in the mirror and often we're like, I'm disgusted with myself. Well, that ain't, it's not you. You didn't choose to do that. Our thoughts beat us up. You know, we got attached to the thoughts and the behaviors, and we just kept duplicating those. But you're awake. You're awake now. You've shaken yourself and you're awake, and your head, just like Samson's head, it got shaved in the lap of Delilah. And his vision was, he got his eyes plucked out. We just need your vision to come back and for us to get our head out of the lap of the chimichanga. So we did that Monday. Make sure you work on that. Your vision for your life worksheet. Get you a poster board if you don't like the worksheet we provide. Do something to get yourself motivated. Maybe for you, it's just watching Rocky. Maybe you just go watch the Rocky Balboa. I don't know. I don't know what your thing is. Maybe it's a music. Maybe it motivates you to watch The Notebook. That movie. I don't know. You got to find your thing that motivates you and inspires you to pick up the tool and use it and get fired up about the outcome. Then Tuesday, we talked about the shibboleth shield. How do we have a perfect day? I know it's simple, but it works. It's more powerful than any pharmaceutical I've ever seen, run into, or looked at for weight loss if we do it right. A perfect day means we had our water, we followed the water component, we journaled. We're doing a journal challenge right now. We just asking folks to journal. How does writing it down affect my metabolism? Well, it's indirect. It's going to affect you indirectly. And it's more important than the foods you put in your mouth, because y'all all know, if you've struggled with this in the past, 9/10 of it is how we think. Even the Bible tells us, as a man thinketh, so he'll be. As he thinks in his heart, so he'll be. So we got to get the thoughts right. And journaling is going to help you do that, because we've just got bad habits. You know, I would eat stuff. It was kind of like driving my car from, say, the house to downtown Cartersville and back. I don't even remember going most of the time. My subconscious just does it on autopilot. I'm like, I don't even remember the drive over here. How did that happen? Well, I've done it hundreds and hundreds of times. So my subconscious takes over. Same thing with how we're eating. So you got to make a decision to consciously become aware again of how you're eating, what you're eating, and realize every calorie counts. Journal helps with that. Food combinations, we're controlling insulin. When we provoke insulin responses, they don't come back down fast. They taper down if you're doing the right thing. But let's say that you spiked them with an ice cream, a regular ice cream. You had a holiday, you spiked your insulin levels. Now your appetite's high. Fat storage is going to take place for up to 2 days after that event, and you're going to stop the efficiency of your fat burning because you're dealing with a fat storage hormone, a growth hormone. You're not getting around that. Okay. Now you're trying to eat properly after that. It's tapering down. But the next day you just have a handful of those combos, the cheese-filled pretzels, and you just get a little bump. You didn't get a lot. It wasn't that holiday or that blow-it day, cheat day. You just got a bump where you're always keeping them too high and not getting them low enough to lose fat. And it's very deceptive. Weight loss is a deceptive thing. You can, and we talk about this in the journey classes and in the advanced classes. We won't unpack too much of it here. But the scales can show that you went down in weight, but yet you gained fat and you're not aware of it. The scales can show that you went up in weight, but you lost fat and you're not aware of it. Can you see how you would quit a good program over that? So you might have 3 or 4 days high inflammation. You've eaten some carbs the right way. You pulled in some fluid, and you've lost a half a pound of fat. You get on the scales, you're holding a quart of water, and that pound of fat that you lost is masked by the 2 pounds of water that you're holding on to. So you go, well, this ain't working. No, you gotta stick with it. You don't need to look at the scales and really assess whether what you're doing is right or wrong, at least except for once a month. Then they tell the truth. If you're gaining weight after doing this program for a month, something's wrong. You need to come see us. We'll fix it. It's easy to fix because there's no way that you're not losing every month, even with a little effort, 5 to 10 pounds. Now, if you're not, go back and look at your journal. It don't get down. Well, yeah, I know I did that. Half my month was holidays. Okay, well, we can fix that. But just understand the problem with counting on those scales. So your food combinations, we're controlling insulin, or you're eating the right recipe. The recipes, you don't have to put the categories together. If it's in our library, and there are thousands of them and variations of, oh my gosh, when somebody says, convert this recipe for me, often I'll do it and then I'll go look and there's already 10 like it. So in the recipe library, there's tons, it's endless. Our members have been putting these in there for 20 years, and we take and we look at it and we make it right. And if you eat the recipe and you follow the portion rule, you're going to control insulin enough that you can stay in efficient fat burning mode. So then let's look at portions. That's the next component. We got to look at it 2 different ways. You eat up to 3 eating episodes a day for optimization. Eat breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. That's what we're doing. Okay? We're honoring God with our temples. He said to do it. That's what we're all trying to do. We might miss the mark some days, but that's the attempt. This is a faith-based program. So we're trying to have breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit. 3 or less eating episodes. But if I need a 4th, I can have an approved snack if I've had 3 meals. I can have freebies. There are going to be those days. Those aren't going to be weight loss days unless you've got a lot of weight to lose. Those are going to be you punted the ball. But that's good. You didn't turn it over. You didn't have a hog trough day. You didn't provoke an insulin response. You didn't lose 2 days of your journey. You kept controlling the insulin. But the more days that you can do 3 or less eating episodes, the more successful you're going to be. We've got folks that do OMAD. We've got folks that do 2 eating episodes a day. Well, aren't I going to go into starvation mode? No, you've been lied to. We've got 3 levels of fat on our body. We've got excess fat, reserve fat, essential fat. When we've got excess body fat, it ain't time to be talking no starvation mode. That's calories. I got where I would tell myself, okay, I'm not overweight. I'm just carrying around a lot of extra energy. And I just need to tap into that energy and get rid of it. It will evaporate, gone. And then when I get into reserve fat, yeah, I need to be careful, make sure I get enough protein, get enough calories. But right now I got calories. It's called my love handles. So I'm getting at those. So I don't have to have 3 eating episodes a day. We're trying to break the habit of grazing. It just is, we're on autopilot. Food, especially for the Church of the Living God, food has become our go-to. That's why one scripture said, be careful, don't let your bellies be your God. Because that's what we tend to turn to deal with stress, entertainment, boredom, anxiety. It don't ever help, does it? Has it ever helped you? It's never helped me. Anytime I turn to food instead of prayer or the Lord to deal with those kind of things, I'm not dealing with hunger. I'm just dealing with, some sort of a state of being, state of mind issue that I want to get out of, that I want to escape. I always regret it. And you always will. So you just need to step back from your thoughts, step back from your emotions, realize I'm not going to define myself according to those. Let me see what's going on here. Yep, I'm going to hold space. I'm not going to go for that food. This will pass in a moment if I just do what the Lord said, submit myself to the Lord and the devil will flee. Resist the devil, he'll flee. But I got to submit. So I'm just not going to do it. Get your mind off of it. It's easier said than done, I know, because we've been doing it for years. We're no different than the alcoholic. We're no different than a drug addict. Yes, that could be more destructive to the people around you, but this is destructive to you, and this is destructive to the people around you. They're not getting the best version of you. So we're going to step back and we're going to focus on what we can do. When you've had your eating episodes for the day, you're done. It's 10 o'clock and I want something else, Travis. That ain't you. You don't want nothing else. That's your flesh. Are you going to subdue it or not? Do you let your children and grandchildren run all over you? Subdue the flesh and let's move on. We'll get our mind off of it. So we follow our portion rule. That's also the 2-hand rule. So when I'm eating a properly combined meal, or I've got an approved recipe, I'm going to use a 6 to 8 inch plate, or I'm going to use a 2-hand rule. I'm going to put my 2 hands over it. If my 2 hands cover what's on that plate, covers my sandwich, I'm good to go. Calories are going to be right. Nutrients are going to be right. I'm eating approved food. Certainly, there's good, better, and best. You know, optimal in the combination chart is the red column. We talk about that a lot. Everybody has access to the advanced combination chart. If you don't, ask and let's get you access to that. But that combination chart, depending on your state of mind, your goals, says here's how you go fast. Red column. Here's how you go pretty fast, but not as fast, the yellow column. Then we got the life-saving column. And that's the blue column. Let me just go on and pull that up. That good old blue column saved my life. I thought the red column did. Nope, that's the putting the blowtorch on. That's the blowtorch column right there, praise God. But we've got the life-saving, this blue column, learning how to eat the taters, learning how to eat the corn, so that it doesn't destroy my goals and me getting to my goals. I'm knowing how to eat it to control insulin. By the way, this book, right here we go. We got a book. All the meaningful combinations here are in the book. The book is meant to be a guide to teach you how to put foods together. There's no gourmet recipes. We're just taking whole food and putting them together the right way according to red column, yellow column, blue column. So it will teach you. If you're struggling with what looks like math, then come to class. Let me teach you. Let me help you, because or get the book. I do this based upon my craving. So if I'm craving watermelon, I look at blue column. I know watermelon's a category 5. And I know with a 5, I have to have a 1 and a 2. I have to have a 1, 7, 2, or 5. I've got to have a 7, 2, or 5. How would that look? Well, maybe I had some chicken and shrimp on my portion plate, and then I had a little bit of broccoli on a quadrant of the plate, and then I had me some watermelon for dessert. So it's teaching you how to control insulin, whereas before you might eat something that you thought was healthy, and it would be healthy. Listen, it would be healthy. An apple a day will keep the doctor away. Think about that statement, okay? That means I'm already healthy. So an apple a day, it will keep a doctor away. There's so many nutrients in there that's good for you that you need. But what if you're already seeing a doctor because you're struggling? Because you've, like me back in the day, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, acid reflux, high blood pressure. I was struggling, y'all. I was already seeing a doctor. And you know what I was told? Oh, fruit's good for you. Heck no, it's not. Not if you're trying to lose weight. If you eat that stuff by itself, you are provoking an insulin response and you cannot efficiently lose body fat. Now you're putting in all that effort, thinking you're doing good, eating the low-fat diet, eating the fruit, and you got such high levels of insulin, you can't get no leverage on yourself. We want to wait till we get healthy. Then I'd rather y'all, like right now, I'd rather you go in there in the pantry and pull out your Health Smart peanut butter patties and have 4 of those than I had an apple. And then I would have a nutritionist right now, their head would pop off. They would go blasphemy until I talked to them and explained to them, no, no, no. What is this person going to keep going if they're not getting results? No. We'll meet them where they're at. They need them peanut butter patties that control their insulin. When they get healthy, I'm going to start trying to talk them into getting rid of those peanut butter patties and eating that apple by itself. So it depends on where you're at, okay, in your journey. Everything is goal specific. So that's combinations. Learn it. It's worth your time. Life is short. When do you put this behind you? How long have you been dealing with it? Isn't life, I don't believe in reincarnation. Do y'all? I don't. I believe where a tree falls, that's where it's going to lay. I want to redeem the time. When I learn to do better, it takes me a while to do better. I don't know about y'all, but for me, when I know I've been doing something wrong and then I make a decision to do better, it actually still takes me a while to do better. Now I'm aware and I have the want to, but I have all these bad habits I got to break. They're strongholds. And it takes some time. Don't give up on yourself when you're trying to change. Does that make sense? Don't give up. You'll think, see, I can't do it. That's wrong. You're dealing with your unruly flesh, and it's got the taste. It's like a little mini vampire. And once you give it the taste, it doesn't stop. It operates by nature. The flesh's nature is wickedness, corruption, and gratification and pleasure, the kind that will kill you. So be careful with that. Combinations, portions, we talked about the portions, timing. Run out of time. Timing. You want to, I learned to simplify this part of the rule. We used to say spread those eating episodes out 4 to 6 hours. Some people can't do that because of the way their life is set up or their day set up. So it is so much easier to say just every 24 hours, don't eat nothing for 12 hours, including sleep. Stop it. If you're going to have something, let it be your water. Let it be some collagen. Even the collagen will be satisfying, and you're not really having enough to disrupt too much if you're just having that. But you need 12 hours a day where you let the digestive system just catch up. It takes, goodness, 8 to 36 hours to digest a meal, and we think we got to eat 4, 5, 6 times a day? No, that's why we're dying. 12 hours a day, no food. And you know what else that'll do? It'll build discipline. I want you to work towards 16 hours. Like Cindy's here, and I think Cindy's still doing OMAD. That means 24 hours a day. She ain't eating except for one time a day. Is that going to cause her to starve? Nope, she's getting healthier by the day. You're giving your digestive system time to catch up. And that takes energy. When you're digesting food all the time, you are expending so much energy that your body can't even properly recover. It can't heal. Then the next thing you know, you're depressed. Did you know frequent eating episodes cause deep depression? The kind that you ultimately get prescribed medication for? And it's because your body doesn't have the energy to even heal its own mind. You have to rest. You have to recover. And part of that is not digesting food all day. So work hard to get to 16 hours. Finally, the most important part of that shibboleth shield. Bless the name of the Lord. Do as I say, not as I've done with my life. I'm a testament to what happens to a person when they don't give their whole heart to God. And I suspect there's other people here in the same boat. So you have to give the entirety of yourself to the Lord. And if you're not careful, here's what you'll do. You'll only come to the Lord when you think you're doing good, when you think you're deserving. That's what I did. The time to come to the Lord is when you're angry, when you're hurting, when you're depressed, when you're mad at the world, ain't got no love in your heart, and when you're wrong with God. Because he's the doctor, and he'll fix it. But he's the only one that can fix it. We tend to run away, just like this program. This is a good example. When people aren't doing well, they've had a bad week, Cindy, do they come back the next week or do they run away when they put on 10? They run away. I've done it. People do it, right? And the very thing they need is when they're not doing good, when they think they've let themselves down and let me down and let the program down. And by the way, it's usually the ones, see you, Denise, it's usually the ones that they've done incredibly well. And the enemy now has twisted this thing and said, you've let everybody down. That's the one that usually runs away. You've let everybody down. See, you were inspiring so many people. You had lost 50 and now you've gained 20 back. So and then you just get all in your head and you're like, I just let everybody down. I'm afraid to even go back. That's when you need to come back, is then. That's the enemy. The program doesn't exist for those that are doing good. We're here for those that are struggling. And then hopefully there's enough doing good to help me with the ones that are struggling, because it's just me and my little team. All right, so always, final rule, always attitude of gratitude, bless the name of the Lord, and keep coming even on the days when you think you don't deserve any love, any support. And that's a perfect day. After 2 perfect days, you are in EFB. Now, we're not going away. We're going to shift into the journey. We're going to have a 30-minute session today with the journey, folks. And we want to make sure that everybody's, before you leave, if you're here for FasTrack, any questions, anything that you need me to clarify, any help that you need, some frustration that's going on that might cause you to quit. Tell us what's going on so we can send you away on good terms today. We want you to have a perfect day. Then we'll step into the journey session. We won't leave this meeting though.